Welcome to the Pope's Point of View with your host, Elijah Burke.
Gentlemen, and thank you for joining your boy yet again for another edition of Pope's Point of View. And of course, I am your host of hosts, your God and light, your paragon of virtue, your former NWA World Television Champion, the Pope, Elijah Burke. And you are listening to the podcast that is indeed known as 45 Minutes of Fire. And then some. That's right, guys. And then some. And we're going to get to that some in just a moment or two. But before you boy do, allow me to do my due diligence and bring in and on right here, right now, one of the most legendary competitors of all time, female and male alike. Who am I talking about? I'm not talking about Polo Del Mar. No, the wig is not here right now. I'm talking about the Spider. I'm talking about the crazed one. I'm talking about the athletically talented and gifted one herself for part 2 of the interview series. Guys, welcome back, Victoria.
Thank you so much. I'm like, that is a big buildup. as I'm sitting on this chair and I was laughing and my back went out. like you said, grizzled vet, man. Jeez.
This is these type of comments that will have me bursting out of laughter on the plane. And in the beginning, people will turn around and they'll look. But after about 2 or 3 laughs later, they're all laughing now. It's just like, you know, and I remember this one time we were going overseas. Don't even get me started. I don't know if you remember this, but it was one of those long trips all the way. Yeah, where we were on there from day to night to morning, you know, one of those long trips. And I can't believe you remember it. I had it for so long because you know, Lisa likes to drink coffee, and sometimes that coffee begins to wear off, and she comes to me, and I got my phone out, and we're having and it was the little slide phones back then, or the flip phones, and and she comes up to me and she's like, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love.
That was also a combination of wine and being
okay, I can't say. I didn't want to say that.
Well, that's okay. No, because we were trying to sleep on the flight. We were so freaking delirious that we don't know what time it is in the day. And those overseas, you guys got to remember, connection. And you're just like, where am I at? What time zone am I in? It's awful, but you know, at the best time we're flying with overseas because all of us were on the same flight. And then we get to meet and just, where was it?
It was chartered. It was just the boys.
It was, yeah. Those were the best. I'm telling you, so much fun.
That was one of my favorite moments with Lisa. And she just,
I get very emotional. I get very lovey-dovey. I'm very, I'm not a, when I drink my wine, I'm not a hater. I become very lovey-dovey. I just want everybody to know how much I love them, how much they mean to me. And then I start probably crying.
And then the flight attendants, and then we had these flight attendants, I'll never forget them. And Lisa was telling them, I love you.
You're like, I was very infamous about exchanging numbers with the flight attendants.
Do you remember this? Do you remember you were in the back of the plane and you talking about, oh!
What?
You went back to the car. You went back to the window in the back where they are. And you said, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Oh,
meanwhile, we're getting evil looks from the main eventers going, damn it. Thank God they were in the curtain with the first class area.
Right.
Thank God, right?
Oh,
with all the
they were up there. They were up there in the little capsules. I'll never forget. I go to use the restroom and I see this. They're in the capsule. They get to lay down and fit, you know, rightfully so. They're up there sleeping and all comfortable, got their own television.
Yet to this day, I've never been able to sleep. I've never been upgraded to that capsule. Have you?
Are you serious?
Never, ever. You would think of how many miles I have. Nope. Never.
Wow. I've had it once, maybe.
I've only had like the 30-minute flight first class. I'm like, oh, great. I don't even get a meal.
Oh man, that's
Oh my God.
and here, let's piggyback off of where we left off.
Yes. Me
About
transferring to TNA and like that
yeah.
part of
Well, first I want to talk about this Legends
Hmm.
contract thing, and how it's criminal that you aren't in that field yet. Uh, we're talking about Victoria, who has done so much in the world of professional wrestling. And when you mentioned about the first class, and all the bump up and stuff, well, you should be treated first class.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
Over the
not
board.
angry about it though, Pope. I'm not angry. I'm like, I think time will tell. I'm not inducted in the Hall of Fame, which is, when
Criminal.
more people are more angry. The fans are more angry than myself. And they were like, are you inducted? And we're not told anything. They think that we're still in the loop of like the gossip and what's going on backstage. But, I would love to be part of the Legends contract. Maybe they think I would never do it. I don't know. So maybe this is them knowing that I would be very interested in it. So thank you for letting me use your platform to let WWE. I'm a huge supporter. I have nothing bad to say about any company that we work for. Why? We are still part of the companies. Even when we're retired, we're still part of WWE. We're still part of TNA.
Yeah,
we're still part of, we're still like, I still feel like, I'm an OVW gal too,
right.
So
I'm sure producer Red, primitive one over there, will clip that, and that's something that we can get out for you as well, because you certainly deserve it,
thank
Lisa.
you.
And
Thank
let's talk
you.
about something else that you deserved. When you got going, Lisa, and came back up there, they sent you home, brought you back a year or so, and you're Victoria now. You get thrust into the mix. You started in 2000 with WWF, and now it's 2002, and you're thrust into a feud immediately with one of the greatest women wrestlers of all time, Trish Stratus. And not only are you thrust into a feud with her, but you end up defeating her to become the champion for the first time. Tell us about it.
It's nuts. So little do people know, like when we have our minor leagues, our what is it? Our schools that are affiliated with WWE. People up there, developmental. Thank you. The people up there watch the next future superstar. I hate saying superstar; it's so weird. But the next upcoming wrestler, and Trish was watching my stuff and said, "I want to have a feud with her." My God, she could, yeah, and it was freaking amazing. Was I nervous? Of course. You never feel when you get brought up to the main stage. I'm not talking about when I was a Godfather. That was, me just dancing and stuff like that. But you never feel prepared. And you always are going, like, even being there 9 years, you're still going, is my repertoire still good? Am I still good enough to be here? You always want to continue your craft. You never are stagnant or comfortable where you're at. You always go, how do I better myself? How do I better myself? That's what makes a great freaking superstar or WWE or knockout or whatever. But it was incredible. Her and I had some kick-ass.
Yes, you did.
We did. We always said, say sorry later, because we really laid it in. We didn't do strong style. We did safely. But if something accidentally went wrong, the show must go on. Don't sell it. Just freaking go. Just keep on going. And when I found out I was doing the MSG Survivor Series and winning the title, I broke my nose, chipped my tooth, got a lump here and back here. I just had my tooth fixed. I went to go open a deodorant container.
A deodorant container?
Yes. The plastic thing that covers the white part of okay. I went like this and I go, oh, I must have cracked the deodorant top. And I went, Oh my God, my tooth. So the injury keeps on coming back. So it's a reminder. I got this tooth fixed. It's fixed though, because it was a bond, so I had to have it in Louisville. I got it fixed, but
why did you just peel it back?
It doesn't peel. It's a plastic. I try to go like this and pop it off.
Oh, you talk about the thing that's on? Yeah, okay,
that hard plastic thing.
Yeah, I got you.
And I don't use that normally, but I ran out of deodorant and I ordered it on Amazon. I will never do that again. But her and I, like, my God, she did. She went back. She did the cage match just recently, and she called me and asked me, "Can I do the Widow's Peak?" And I'm like, I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Is there anything I need to know about it?" And I go, "No, you got it. You know how to do it. You know how to take it." And then she said on our show, the God TV show, she was like going. Then she got a couple audio messages because I don't do texting. I'm so blind. You know that, Pope. And so I was like, "Oh, don't forget to do the crazy thing after you do it. And also too, their head, if they're tall, their head has to be in a certain point. You need to try it a couple times because the height, it's different. Yeah. And then the weight and distribution and stuff like that. I didn't realize how, like, because I was so strong back then, I was one of the bigger girls back then. So like if they weren't in the right spot, I could maneuver them because they were so little. But so I remember doing that match when I got the title, the championship, whatever. I'm trying to follow
women's championship.
Remember, we're not supposed to say belt, title, and all that crap. I'm so brainwashed. And then the ref was like, "Do you want me to end it? Do you want me to end it?" And I go, "Hell no, I'm getting the belt." I go, "Just tell her to stay away from me." I go, "I can't see because I broke my nose." And but my God, but when you do get the title, the championship, there's a target on your back because back in our day we only had one match per show. So you're just like going, "Oh my God." Be prepared to work on every show and really defend your status. You know what I mean? So there's a lot more pressure being the champ.
Okay. Well, I normally would save this for the rapid fire question at the end, but since you already talked about the Widow's Peak, E Smooth, actually, that's my cousin from Jacksonville. He sent one in and he wanted to know, how did you come up with the Widow's Peak? So since you already talked about it, I feel I should insert that right here.
All right, E Smooth. I hope you're going to the Jacksonville charity on January 6th.
He's at every one of them. Thank you. He's at every one of them. Thanks for the plug, Lisa.
Right here in Jacksonville, Florida.
How you come up with that? That is
I did not come up with it. Molly Holly went to it, like she used to go to all the independent shows, because she would just eat, breathe, sleep wrestling, right? She saw Roderick Strong do the Widow's Peak, came back to TV and said, "Victoria, I have a finisher for you." And we did it this was when, the girls, like, we didn't really overtake the ring. We did, but when the the main eventers wanted to use the ring, we went on the side.
Of course.
He goes, "Okay, put me in the power bomb. Okay, now grab my neck. I'm going to grab your wrist. I'm going to drop to my knees." I'm like, "What?" We did it there and everyone saw it and they went, "Ooh." And Vince was out there. And then Molly said, "Hey."
I like it.
Yeah, I love her.
I love it.
He goes, "Do you like that finisher for Victoria?" And I got that. The first person to take it was Stacy Keibler. So Roderick Strong came up with it, and Molly Holly saw it and gave it to me.
Look at the humbleness of this woman. I don't even like the fact that she said it.
Really? Because I met.
But no, it's true.
When he was 14, you remember, like, at the hotel when people find out where you're staying, they would be at the lobby to try to get your autograph and stuff. He goes, "Hey, Victoria, my name is Roderick. I came up with your finisher." And I go, "Oh my God, you put me on this planet. You put me on this planet. Your finisher made me." So
okay, I get that. That is crazy. That's a little known history fact, guys, because you got to understand that move is synonymous with Victoria. No one knows that. Look what you guys are finding out right here on Post Point of View Sit Down Interview Series. Nobody knows that if she does not say that. I have known this woman for almost years, and I had I'm learning so much because every time we're together, we're having a good time. We're not
we're
talking.
usually cackling. We're just cackling and just we just really don't talk about the business. We do a little bit, but not.
Well, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but we're going to have to talk about it after this commercial break. What up, peeps? It's your boy Pope. If you are listening and enjoying Pope's Point of View with Elijah Burke, be sure to go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Springer, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts to subscribe today. So, guys, as we were saying, when me and Lisa together, y'all know how we do it. We just laugh. We like to have a good time, and we like to keep our troubles behind. We don't want to focus on them. And I think the reason myself and Lisa's relationship, our brohood, if you will, the reason it's been so good and we've never shared a bad word, ever.
Yeah.
I've never had an ill thought about you, ever.
Same here.
That's because we understand the importance of the healing ability of laughter. It's so healing. It's so therapeutic.
It truly is. And it, I think you and I had some conversations, just like worrisome conversations, not maybe some sad ones, but we were always there to lift each other up. And that's why you said at the end, like how you close out your show, change the people around you, because these are the people that lift you up. I'm telling you, do not surround yourself by negative Nellies. Because, and this is my flaw, is I have a lot of negative, not a lot, but, few negative Nellies in my life. And I always feel like the job to lift them up, but it's exhausting. And I need to focus. Sometimes you need to focus on yourself now. We're older now, where we got to really work on ourselves. We don't need to rely on somebody to help us out. Just look at the positivity. Man, really, Pope, we have nothing to complain for our career and what we have done.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, for having this experience and just making so many family and friends in this business. Right?
Amen to Mother Lisa Marie. You're preaching the gospel. You're preaching the gospel.
Right here, Jacksonville, Florida.
January the 6th. Hey, every time you remember, you could never get JTG's name right. So you'd be like, hey, where's Nelly? Where's Nelly? So she would always call JTG Nelly. I have no idea, because I don't
know either. He does look like Nelly,
the rapper. He was wearing that stuff. But anyway, let's get back to you real quick. So 2 years, you're up there, you win the title, and then just like you won the title from her, you will hold on to it until you would eventually drop it right back to the same woman you won it from, Trish Stratus. Was that like did you see that as like coming full circle? Was it, how did you feel?
I never read into this. I thought, I'm dropping it for the face to hold it. She was chasing it. And it's a storyline. I didn't, was I upset? A little bit.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, oh man. Okay, now I have to chase it back. But man, there was just a lot of talented girls up there. Like Jazz was coming in, and she was kicking butt, man. And just, I knew that was the next angle. And
the only comparable physique that's ever, we're not talking China. I'm talking about while you were doing your thing, the only comparable physique to you there was. And
Jazz is so tremendous. She was in OVW.
Yep.
Taught me to be a heel. So like when the girls, like when I used to wrestle them, I had not when during Trish, but like later on, I'd go, all right. Like when I would wrestle Barbie, I would go, all right, baby, you remember where we're at? All right, baby, I'm going to come back.
Barbie is Kelly, guys.
Okay, Kelly. And I go, all right, baby, are you lost? Yeah, I'm lost. I go, I'm going to come back. You start firing up on me. That's how Jazz talked to me as a heel.
Right.
It made me so comfortable that she wouldn't be angry if I forgot something, or like, oh, I don't know, because I was still green when I was wrestling her, but the more comfortable you feel with your opponent, the better the match is.
Yeah.
No frustrations. Yeah.
Okay. Well, two more things here before you depart from WWE, and we'll go ahead and cross the line and talk a little TNA. But another memorable moment that you had, I obviously, I'm sitting back. I'm a fan. I'm actually there. Was it WrestleMania 20 with Molly Holly and the shaved head?
Shaved head, yes. Yes.
So I'm there for that. I was in OVW, of course, 2004, but at the same time, I went to that event myself and Nelly, aka JTG. So I was up there, yeah. And what a pivotal! That was such a wow moment too, because I think that's the first time we ever saw a female lose her locks. How did that come about?
Molly Holly won. WrestleMania is our Super Bowl. Super Bowl for wrestling. Everybody wants to be a part of that. That's the freaking main freaking show of the year. And Molly went up to the office and said, I want to be the first girl to be shaved on pay-per-view in WrestleMania. And they asked, okay, who do you want your opponent to be?
You're lying.
Victoria.
Full freaking circle. How about that?
I love her. It's just like her and I were, there's a saying in our like, I was one of the giving people in the ring. What move do you want to do? I got you. I got you. It was almost to a fault a little bit, but Molly Holly and I had such great chemistry and just natural. It was just very organic in the ring. And like, if something went wrong, let it go. We just keep on continuing. And I thought I was going to be yelled at after that match because they didn't train you how to shave a head. She had long hair.
Yeah.
So the guy that's next to me by the barber chair is Vince's real barber. Real barber. Real. And he goes, you need scissors. And I go, and I'm supposed to look like the referee's going, smile. You look like you enjoy it. Hurry up. We need her shaved by this time. Hurry up. And I go to the barber, I go, where's the scissors? We don't have scissors. And I'm like, I'm cutting her head. She gets free from the chair. I'm nicking her, like, bleeding,
a little blood,
and I was like, oh my god, but she knew what was going on. When I went saw her backstage, of course, what we're not supposed to do on camera. We didn't do. There was no camera, and I go, oh my god, are you okay? She goes, thank you, and I go, I cut your head so many. I didn't mean to do that. She goes, no, I heard them yelling at you. I heard the whole everything was going on, and I was like, okay, and she wanted to be the first history. And she wanted me to be a part of it. So
that's amazing.
That girl, I love that girl. I love that girl. Yeah.
And just for the record, I love her too.
I love her. She's one of the too nice people for the business.
Amen. And I talked to her at the last time I saw her, it was at an NWA convention, and we just talked. And so we went outside and we just talked, and she was telling me about, like, she don't do TV no more, watch TV no more. And she at the time she was like living in the cabin or whatever, I don't know, and she's like just departed from the world. Like, I don't want none of that. I read books and I enjoy nature. And she was sharing all that. I thought, man,
I tell you something, Pope, about her? Okay, she called me. She's an agent now in WWE, you guys. Mm-hmm. She called me, she goes, can you give me a call? Because I'm not good with I'm like you. I have it on silent all the time. Okay. Yeah. So I just saw a call from Molly and I go, oh my gosh, she never calls me. Something's wrong. So, you always think the worst, right? When someone's reaching out. Cause she doesn't have a podcast. Like if you texted me, I'm like, he wants me on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
For part 2, mind you, for part 2. But she called, she goes, can I talk to you? I have a question to ask you. And I'm like, oh my God, this is important. Talked to her. She goes, hey, WWE reached out to me to be an agent. How do you feel? How did you feel when you went back to Rumble? And I go, I loved it. I felt like I didn't skip a beat. I felt a little, I didn't know all the new girls and stuff like that. I just felt, like, ooh, I'm the new girl now. I'm the new girl. That's what I felt. And I go, Molly, do it for 3 months. You don't like it? You tried it? Next venture. She goes, and so she's still an agent. So yeah. I'm not saying that I talked her into it, but I think she needed like just a little bit more good friends get in your back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You still
Well,
need
how
to
about
bounce
that?
like idea. Yeah. Yeah. So
That's
I'm proud of her.
crazy.
She's an amazing person. Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, you mentioned the Rumble, and we had a question from one of the point of viewers that said, after your Rumble appearance, did you ever consider or want to be a playable character in WWE 2K22 or 23? Now, before you answer that, I'm appalled if you're not in it. I thought you were already in those games.
I'm
Are you
not.
kidding me?
No. I was only in one video game. That's
I
it. My
was
whole
in two. You were in one?
I was in one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. That was our big paycheck too. But
For real,
I
for
would love
real.
to be a part of it. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The video games are freaking awesome, and that's the
Okay.
future. Everybody's gamers and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I don't know if those paychecks are as awesome as they were back then, from what I
Oh,
hear, but
okay. Well,
still
it's
great to
still
be on.
special to be
Yeah.
a part of it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I still consider WWE my home. I'm sorry, but
That's two of
that's my
us.
home. And yeah, exactly. That was our freaking start. And after Rumble, like I said in the last episode, you can rewatch it. I don't need to be part like I wouldn't mind to manage somebody or or I don't know, just a speaking role or something like that, or do an occasional move because again, grizzled vet Lisa, grizzled vet Victoria, my body hurts. I put a lot of my body into everything I did, but I still would be consider being part of the company, backstage stuff and helping the girls develop the psychology part and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
I
yeah.
tell you this all the time, and there may come a point where I don't tell you anymore. So you'll definitely understand when I say this now that you look like yesterday. You look
Oh,
so good.
oh.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Hey, secret, Zoom has filters.
All right. So last thing, WWE.
Okay.
You got 3 minutes to tell me about it because you went on to have a lot of memorable moments. You talked about managing. You did a little something with Kenny Dykstra as well,
And Stevie Richards too.
and
Yes.
Stevie
Okay.
Richards. That was a question. Someone wanted to know what it was like. See, now I got to go here. But let's talk about this. Let's let you answer this. How was it working with Stevie Richards? That was a question from I don't know who. I can't go to it right now. But what was that like for you working with him?
My God. Okay, Pope, you've witnessed me going to the ring. I'm one that wants to throw up. I get stomach problems, and I'm so nervous. My hands are sweating, and Stevie would pull me aside, going, "You were so good out there." He would give me the confidence, and him and I, organic. We never went over anything. He goes, "If you feel like doing something to me, do it. Say sorry later. Just go with our character and stuff like that." So there was one time when I went on the ring and I was supposed to just smell his neck, and I ended up biting his earlobe because I felt it was a little extra psychotic. And he came back. He goes, "What's that bite?" And I go, "I just felt it. I felt it. I just felt like psycho." And he was just a number one supporter of mine. I love him. God bless him with his new fitness adventure.
Yeah.
And him and I, note to everybody, have never done an appearance together.
Hey, let's make that
Ever.
happen. What are you guys waiting on? Good Lord.
Book it.
Man, book it. And
Book it.
you knew
Maybe
about
Jacksonville, Florida, January 6th.
Did you know about his back issue that he had and he had recent surgery and everything?
Okay, so my phone was blowing up. Do you know what's going on with him? And some of us, we still keep in touch regularly. Some of us, not very much. And I was getting hit on the social media a lot about him. And of course, you don't want to be the person. Are you okay? Like,
right?
What's going on? What's going on? But everyone was asking me what was wrong, and I didn't know. I had to hear from fans. That's really sad. Yeah. So, but I think he's healthy now. Now, is he?
Yeah, he's back. He's up.
Okay.
He's walking. He's running.
Okay.
He's back to being Stevie Richards from, what I've seen, because I follow him, and obviously I sent him, some prayers and stuff.
Yeah.
Not when it broke, because I'm like you, I don't want to be like that,
I don't
especially
either.
especially if we hadn't talked, so it makes it a little
It
odd.
almost that looks like you're reaching out to get the scoop to tell other people. So you're like,
yeah, nah, I
let
just
me
wanted
let me get rest and like let him heal like before I reach out. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's the best way to be in those type of situations, just to let them know at some point, let them know, hey, I'm pulling for you, I'm sending best wishes and nothing but positive thoughts your way. And guys, I'm not finna send nothing your way but a commercial break, and I'm coming right back soon after. Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world. All right, guys, your boy's back, and y'all know I'm not back for the attack. I'm just here to tell you guys what your boy's doing on a consistent basis. When you don't see me on here like I am right now with my girl Lisa, I am doing the work in and around the community of Jacksonville, Florida for the Love Alive charity. If you haven't went to love-alive.org to see, I know you guys saw the commercial in the break. If you haven't went to check it out, please do so. Watch our videos, see the work that we have done and continue to do. Read our mission statement. Understand that we're simply positively influencing many people by trying to be the change that we wish to see in the world. And we want you to be a part of it. I need you guys, because after a while, if I continue doing it myself, y'all gonna be doing a GoFundMe for Pope, and we don't want that. So please, guys, if you got a buck or two, please send it, donate it, be a part of what we're doing. You can do that by visiting love-alive.org, or you can do it via Cash App, $ the Love Alive charity. Help us be the change that we wish to see in the world. And also, I know for Polo Del Mar, who is not with us, but certainly for the Deacon to the God Light and the Primitive One Red, we thank you guys for your support. We thank you for listening to us on a continuous basis. Be sure to comment, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and whatever podcast platform you hear this on, y'all already know what to do. Be sure to let somebody else know where they can find your boy. But all right, guys, we're winding down here on Post Point of View with my girl Victoria, aka Tara, aka Lisa Marie, and whatever else you want to call it. Some say Grizzle, not me, but that's her. But hey, so right before we get ready to talk about TNA, we want to talk about, or I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't know. Out of all your memorable moments, and right before you got ready to transition, if you will, shout out to Gabby Tuff. Polo's not here to say it. Shout out to Gabby Tuff. You went into a lot of things, different things, but then you actually were going out there with a list, Victoria. A list. What
Okay.
was you were checking off the names of people?
Don't ask me. I don't remember how that came about. I really don't. I don't remember. But I was going out with a list. What do you think? I don't remember.
Well, I don't want to look. I don't want to. I can tell you what was reported that I dug up, and that was that somewhere in the match you accidentally broke somebody's nose. And so
Candace Michelle.
There you go.
Yeah.
So now they're sending you out with the list because now you're going to be taking out all the other divas. But here's the reason I brought that up. People don't know this. You did the list first, not Jericho.
I know. You're welcome, Jericho.
You're so historic, man. You're first to first with so many things.
It's crazy.
Yeah, after floundering around and somewhere you realized that you weren't being appreciated, or a new breed was coming along, no pun intended, and all of a sudden you asked for your release.
Yeah, I had 2 more years on my contract in WWE. And when we go out to our car, like when we had that private area to park, and the fans they were crapping on me. They were like, "How did you lose to this?" They were not believing the magic. Okay. And I was like, man, I still love what I do. I still love what I do. And I don't want to leaving as a bitter vet. Like when there's certain people you run into and you're like, I don't like hearing anything negative about our business. I'm just like, we did what we did. We contributed. And I was like, I don't want to be one of those people. I asked for my release and went to talk to Vince, Johnny Ace, Stephanie, and I said, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I was older, but you hit a point, you're like, I don't, what's my future? I didn't plan on going to TNA, no plans there. And they asked me, is there anything we can do for you? And I said, one last match. And so I kept on showing up to freaking the show every week for 3 months and still sit in the back in the catering with Tommy Dreamer, eating and eating and eating. And finally, Michelle came behind me and she goes, Sis, and I go, tonight? She goes, yeah. And she goes, I asked them if you can win the match, but they said no. You have to pass the torch. And I go, that's okay. Tonight's my last. And so did that. And I had the 90-day no compete clause.
Yeah.
And then I got reached out from Terry Taylor from TNA.
There you go. All right, that's exactly what I was going to ask. How did that? So you didn't have any intentions of going, and you left respectfully, and from you had a meeting. You told them, hey, look, and you gave up 2 years that was left, and
people think they're shocked when I say that, and I'm like, I'm not one of these people like, let me milk the company for what it's worth. If you're not being utilized. I remember asking Vince. Hold
on. I mean, you could have ran and just stayed hidden like JTG did before they found out they were still paying them.
Right? I know. And I remember asking when I first went to the office. I just said, I remember he was one of my travel partners too. I was standing outside of Vince's office in the convention center. Okay. And Travel thought I'm pitching a storyline. He goes, be strong. And I go, don't talk to me. I'm going to cry because I knew what I was going to do. And then I asked Vince, do you see the championship in my future? And then I just saw all their faces. And if I was paid to be Finley, I would have been happy with that. You know what I mean? And I was like, I think I need to leave, that kind of thing. And so 90 days later, no compete clause. Terry Taylor calls me and he goes, hey, we want to sign you. What do you think? And I go, what do you have in mind? That kind of thing. We want to see you in an angle, whatever. I don't remember the storyline, to be honest with you. And I go, well, why don't you send me the contract? I'll have a lawyer look at it. And he goes, well, we want you to debut in 3 days.
Jeez. Well, God dang.
And I was like, can you send me the contract? And so this is when we had fax machines. Okay. So I'm waiting and I go, hey, I only got 30 pages on the contract. And he goes, yep, that's our contract. I go, 30 pages? WWE is like, it's
a packet.
Right? It's a packet. It's this thick.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I need to take it to a lawyer. And he was like, well, we want to debut you in a couple days. And then they wanted to sign me for 3 years. And I go, how about this? Why don't you sign me for a year and I'll show you for what you're offering to pay me. I've never worked for this little. I'm going to show you whatever match you give me, I'm going to give 110%. I go, any match you give me, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best. And I ended up joining a year and they wanted to sign me another 3 years. And I said, let's do one more year. Don't forget, like, it was just, I was still getting my feet wet. You can't know a company in a year, So, but I did watch their product in WWE. And I was like, God, all these girls, ODB, Kong, like all these girls, we all did.
We all did. And they still do right now.
Yes, exactly. And I was like, I've never faced these girls. Oh, this is a new this is a new whole development of girls, right? And so I ended up loving it and just became part of the family as well. And
All right.
I had a good run.
Well, you did. And we've had a good run. So I need to get to this rapid fire so that you can run and I can run along. So right now, guys, we're going to get to our rapid fire. And y'all know Victoria is grizzled, so I want to explain to her what rapid fire is. It's like 15-second. No, I'm just kidding. You got 45 seconds to respond or a minute. No one's going to rush you, but here you go. Just be rapid fire. What was it like working with Dixie Carter as a boss? All right. Next.
She was nice at the beginning, and then there's no one like JR. Jim Ross was the freaking best talent relations, and I can't compare anybody to Jim Ross. He really took the time and care for every freaking person, and we'll leave it at that.
All right. What was it like working under Vince Russo?
Oh, I love Vince Russo.
Good. Okay.
I get along with him. I've been on his podcast as well. He's a hoot, man. He's just.
Yeah.
I love the guy. I'm sorry. I have nothing bad to say about him at all. I love him.
I talk about Vince Russo all the time, and I promise you, everybody that listens will tell you the same. Never said a bad word. Don't care what their opinions are. But I know what he did for me.
Me too.
There's no Pope without that guy.
I love that guy. I love him.
All right. So whose idea was it for the name Tara?
Oh, okay. This is not a 45-second. Okay.
Go ahead.
So, when I got the contract, I said, can you guys call me Lisa Marie? So I can leave with my name because, it's contract, so they own names, right? And I get to the show and they're like, hey, are you Tara? These boxes are for you, the spiders. And I go, what? Tara? Wait. And I didn't put it in the contract that we agreed to have my name, Lisa Marie. And I was really upset about it. And I was like looking for our old crew. And I'm like, okay, there's Sting. Sting is from old school. And I go, hey, I called him Steve. Don't ask me why I called him Steve. I didn't know that I felt old enough that, I don't know. I was like, hey, can I talk to you? And I said, they're changing my name. And they told me I was going to be named my real name. And I didn't put it in the contract. And he goes, what's the name? And I go, Tara. And he goes, oh, that's a sexy name. And I go, I'll keep the name.
Cool. I mean, again, it's amazing how this stuff comes up. So whose idea was it for the spider?
Baba told me later that was my idea. Oh, no. He was the one that came up with the name. The spider, they knew me as I was Black Widow in WWE. So they just thought a spider. And I thought, then I put a little bit together. Tara is short for tarantula.
Tarantula, yeah.
And I also felt like, of course, I talked a big game before signing that contract. You give me anything, I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, they gave me a spider. I talked a big game. And I was like, I felt like Jake the Snake carrying that spider. Yeah.
Did not know the spider wasn't your idea.
No, not at all. It had venom. And I go, hey, what happens if it bites me? You're like, are you allergic to bees? And I go, never got stung. And they're like, but we have an animal controller from Gatorland. That's where the spiders came from. Just in case you get bit. And I go, well, what happens if I get bit?
They call the ambulance.
Exactly. And I'm like, going, I had to go home. We had Google by then, right? Then I had to go.
Yeah.
What? Okay, they gave me rose hair tarantula. So I Googled rose hair tarantula. They came with 3 spiders each time. Pick the spider you want to go with. And I go, well, I want the bigger one because it looks impressive on my hand. And I go, oh, that one's a little acting up today. Well, then give me the medium size. And every time I carry that spider, if you show up close up, like my hands are shaking. And I was like telling the rep, I think I'm going to get bit. I think I'm going to get bit. I think I'm going to bit. What are you going to do? And I go, I'm going to no sell it. I'm not going to drop it. because they explode like light bulbs.
But you never got
because of
bit.
Google, I had to learn all this, how to take care of a spider because I didn't want PETA after me.
Oh
Jeez.
Lord.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I felt like Jake the Snake. I felt cool.
And it was cool. And again,
and then when they gave me and then they let my contract lapse, they didn't re-sign me. They thought I was just going to sign as is. And I go, well, no, I need to go to a lawyer. These people are like, come on. I go, I got to look over. I'm not going to just sign what's held in front of me. And how do you want to come back? Because it lapsed. And I go, I always want to be Undertaker. I always want to ride a motorcycle to the ring. That's how they did not provide me the motorcycle. Oh, do you have a motorcycle? Reached out to my brother, used to work for export company, what was Japanese base, and it was called Mako. And he had contacts with Honda and reached out to Honda, the president of Honda. And they said, oh, Victoria, son, I got to get my motorcycle. I paid for the taxes, was still over $2,000. So that motorcycle was mine. I thought they were going to provide it since I said, I want to come in a motorcycle, but I paid for that gimmick too.
OMG. Just the fact, and we're wrapping up here, guys. Obviously we're back, but just the fact that Victoria went to such great lengths, and I'm talking about Tara right now, and she got a motorcycle and ended up paying for it.
But guess what, Pope, though? Like we say, we don't present ourselves as half-ass. If what we want,
right,
like I want the show, I'm going to invest in it. And I sucked it up, like you suck it up, man. I go, I want to ride a motorcycle. I'm going to get a motorcycle, whatever I need to do. You know what I mean?
What happened to the motorcycle?
That's the sacrifice that you do for the business.
What did you do to the motorcycle? Where did it go?
We sold it on eBay.
Oh, did you get double?
Nope.
All right.
No,
last question.
Remember. Yeah.
Last question, and it's going to wrap up our time here with the lovely Victoria, and I can do my pleasantries and thank yous and all that stuff. What was your thoughts on wrestling in the 6-sided ring?
Oh God. Okay. I thought it was cool watching it on television because it was so different and unique.
Yeah.
But working in that ring, Pope, you can vouch for this. You didn't know where the hell you're getting shot. Am I going to a corner? Because every strip of just the straight line, are they shooting me to the corner? Or are they shooting me to the straight? They want me to bounce off to take a backdrop. Like you're very, that's only 3 feet. Okay. And it's very confusing, and I couldn't tell where hard camera was, where we're supposed to play to the camera. There's still handheld camera, but I thought, I'll be honest with you, I still think they should have kept it. We would have eventually got used to it, but it made it so unique for TNA. Yeah, but I don't prefer working in a 6-sided ring. Four sides is enough for me. I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing? Wait, what is happening? Where's the front of the like? It was brutal.
A lot of people crapped on when Hogan them came and the 4-sided ring came, but I was so happy. I was so happy when that 4-sided ring came in there. But guys, that does it for this edition of Post Point of View. Before we get ready to get out of here, and depart from this amazing sit-down series with my friend, my good friend, my dear friend, someone who I absolutely love from the bottom of my heart. I really do.
I love you.
I'm just so grateful. We've had the opportunity to have this multiple-time world women's champion. You were a champion everywhere you went, and you're obviously a legend. But I want you to know, you are always my champion. I not to sound corny, but I do mean that from the bottom of my heart. You're a champion to me. I've known some of the things that you've gone through, some of the things that you have persevered through personally, and you're still here. You're still looking good, and you're still being a positive character and influencer on so many people's lives. So thank you, Lisa, for all that you do.
Thank you. And I do want to say something. Yeah, I went through a lot. Life is a roller coaster, just like wrestling is a roller coaster, but it makes us who we are. I wouldn't trade for the negative parts that I experienced. It builds us and it makes us strong people. And at the end, you also realize who your friends and family are that stuck by you. And I have nothing bad to say about the companies I work for. I am very lucky. I hate to say I'm blessed that I have had this experience. And you never know where I'm going to end up next. You never say never in this business.
Never say never. I mean, Lisa Marie and her husband pimped out Pope's ride. Let me just throw that in there. They pimped it out, and that car's still running today, baby, and looking just somewhat as good. I gave it to my brother eventually.
Okay.
But with that being said, Lisa, is there anything you want to promote? Tell the people where they can follow you, find you, and whatever you want to share right now.
Well, don't forget to follow us on, we have youtube.com/GodTV show, and it's with Mickey James, SoCal Val, myself, just drinking wine in our pajamas, interviewing our best friends as normal. And my Instagram, you'll have the description on the bottom.
You guys can see it.
I do have big announcements in a few months to announce. Maybe I'll come back on Pope's point of view again. But don't forget, you guys, Jacksonville, Florida, January 6th. Sharing is caring, and give back to the community.
All right, guys, you heard it from the legend herself, and we're going to put some stuff out. We're going to start picketing, if you will. We got to get this woman her just due. She belongs in the doggone WWE Hall of Fame, and I'm hoping that they do that and don't wait for 40 years after she's been put in a mausoleum somewhere. I hate when they do that, but nonetheless, guys, it's that time. You know what time it is, Lisa?
What time is it, Pope?
It's that time where we must turn ship and set sail in the opposite direction. So for the Dig It to the Guy like Alarcon Man House, for the manager, champion, and champion of managers, Polo Del Mar, for the primitive one, Red, I am your host of hosts, your guy like, your paragon of virtue, your former NWA World's Television Champion, the Pope, Elijah Burke, saying, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and always remember, if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you.